All right, let's look at inequalities. What we're going to do is we're going to use words and translate it into a mathematical symbol. And that's what you'll need to do in stats. So I'm just going to do a few examples here. You may run up on other phrases later, and we can talk about them if you have issues on them. But today, I want to look at these four: fewer than, more than, at least, at most. Because sometimes those give people issues. So fewer than, the inequality symbol for that is the less than symbol. So other words might be less than. You might see that. Or lower than. Probably not as likely, but you could. Or under. Most likely you'd see less than. So the inequality symbol is the less than symbol. More than would be the greater than symbol. So other words that you might see instead of more than would be greater than. Or higher than. Or above. But most likely greater than. At least. This one kind of gets people. Because you see least and you think less than. But at least means actually greater than or equal to. So other words would be greater than or equal to. Another might be greater inclusive. Greater than inclusive. And at most means that there's an upper limit on it. That's going to be less than or equal to. So other words could be less than or equal to. You could have less than inclusive, perhaps instead, but most likely less than or equal to. So now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use the appropriate symbol, either less than or greater than, for these values. None of them are equal. All of them are either one of them is less than the other one. So the way you figure out which one is the smaller of the two is you follow the digits until you reach the first digit that is different. And I have a 3 here and a 4 here. So I had 0 on both of them, decimal point on both of them, 0 in the tenths place on both of them, and then a 3 in the hundredths place on one, and a 4 in the hundredths place on the other. So 44 hundredths, well, that's not really the way you say that, but you know what I'm saying. Let me get a pen. Okay. The greater one, this one's greater, and this one's less. So my symbol will be that 0.03 is less than 0.044. And that's how that would read. 0.03 is less than 0.044. Okay, when I look at the 8 and the 7, 0.088 is greater than 0.07. When I look at the 0.03 and the 0.023, 0.03 is greater than 0.023. The next one's tricky because it's negative. And when I look at negative 0.045 and I look at negative 0.05, the one that's the smaller of the two is actually the 0.05. It's further down to the left in the negative area. So 0.045 is actually greater than 0.05. And you can draw a number line to take a look at that if you want to. I would be here at 0, negative 0.01. Oh, this is going to take a long time. Negative 0.02, negative 0.03. Yikes, didn't leave enough room. Negative 0.04 and negative 0.05. I could have made that a little easier. The negative 0.05 is right here. Negative 0.045 is between negative 0.04 and negative 0.05. So as you can see, the negative 0.05 is actually the lesser of the two. So, writing inequalities. Write the following statements as inequalities. Then graph the inequality and use x for the random variable. Score on the final exam is less than 86. If I write that as an inequality, that would be x, because it said use x for the random variable. X is less than 86. When I draw that on a number line, I'm going to have 80, 85, 90, 95. Okay, if I draw less than 86, then I'm going to put an open circle at 86 and then draw less than. And the reason I did an open circle is because of the less than symbol. It did not have an equal sign, so it will be an open circle. If it has an equal sign, it'll be a closed circle to include 86. This says don't include 86, but include everything less than 86, which is exactly what my statement said, less than 86. Score on the final exam is at least 94. So that would be at least 94 would be x is greater than or equal to 94. So if I draw a number line for that, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. And I know 100 would be the top score, but we're just going to have the arrow go on as though you could make above 100 on it. So x is greater than or equal to 94. So I'm going to go to 94, and this time I'm going to put a solid dot because I'm going to include 94. So this is going to mean that it's a solid dot and then greater than 94. Okay, and you can check an answer and see. Score on the final exam is less than 86. Okay, on that first one, score on the final exam is less than 86. All right, so 80. 80's in the part that I marked. Is 80 less than 86? Yes, it is. Score on the final exam is at least 94. Well, 95 is in that I marked. If you made a 95, did you make at least a 94? Yeah, you did even better than a 94, but you made at least a 94. So check a point in the area that you're saying is the solution. Okay, score on the final exam is between 87 and 93 inclusive. Inclusive means include 87 and 93 in your answer that you mark, which is the same as saying it could equal 83, it could equal 9, it could equal 87, or it could equal 93. If it didn't say inclusive, then you'd have to say, well, it could be 88, 89, 90, 91, or 92, but it couldn't be the 87 or 93. So if it doesn't say inclusive, open circle. If it says inclusive, close circle and use equal signs. So I would have between, and writing between is tricky, so you need to learn how to write it. Let's just do our numbers first. I'm going to write the lower number, I'm going to write my X, and I'm going to write the higher number. The symbols that I'm going to use, between them, I'm going to use less than equal to and less than equal to. And I'm using the equal to because of the inclusive. Otherwise, I would have just used less than and less than. And this reads that X is between 87 and 93. Because X is greater than 87, X is less than 93, inclusive. So let's draw a number line. We have 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Could have laid that out better. 87 to 93. So I'm going to put 87 about right here and color it in. Oh, I did this with a different color last time, didn't I? Color it in. And then I'm going to do 93 and color it in and draw the between. And that is between 87 and 93, inclusive. So give some of those a practice and see how you do and check your answers.